Trying to get a good setup here. Welcome to the Here and Now Show. I am your and if you tuned into my show, then you will know. If you tuned into my show, then you know that I'm coming from the Midwest, where we come in and show out. Gotta love your city. Hello, somebody. And if you tuned into my show before, you know that the Here and Now Show is a channel where I created real life event and changed them into a positive living. And if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave it. And because I believe that all voices matter and that every day you guys are here with me right here, right now. So I want to thank you so much. And also, that if you tuned into my show, or if you tapped in with me before, if you've been rocking with me, you know that I am a sucker for jazz music. Kind of sets the mode, sets the moment. So with that being said, we're gonna play a little jazz music just so we can get into the mood, get into it with me because today is a good day. Hello. Put on my glasses because y'all know I'm blind. Jazz is kind of sets the stage to make everything just go in the flow. Welcome back, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Here and Now show. I'm your girl. As always, I want to thank you guys for being with me right here, right now. Thank you. And if you guys know that I am streaming from the library today, so if you hear children or like loud noise, it's the library. Gotta be that way. Everybody wants to learn. We all got stuff to do. So now today's conversation might set somebody free. Hello, somebody. I'm talking about the 80-20 rule of balance. Ooh, I know. How I'm talking about how to achieve more by doing less. And I know there's somebody like that just paused and was like, wait a minute. I already do enough already. Listen, I used to think the same thing. I feel like my computer is kind of jumping a little bit, so I hope it's not streaming that way. And if it is, I apologize. I'm not perfect. I'm at the library. We just got to keep going with the flow. But listen, I used to think that same way too. I used to think that. I thought that being busy meant being productive. Or I thought that if I wasn't tired, it meant that I needed to work harder. Now, I just conversated with you guys about it's okay to be tired, and it's okay to take rest. So, you know, and so I used to think that, before I started my journey, I did. But let me tell you something. Being busy isn't being effective. No, it's not. Or it's not doing the same things. something because of what we're doing. No, wait a minute, I just stumbled on all of my words. Yeah, but like, what the fuck is she talking about? It just made no sense. But let me start. Let me tell you something. See, I'm not perfect. Being busy and being effective are not the same. Okay. They're not the same thing because some of us, we're so exhausted and we're exhausted because we're not doing what we're doing the most of what we like doing. We're just doing not the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But just because you're doing too much of the wrong thing, okay? You're doing the right thing, but you're doing too much of the wrong thing. And there goes another tongue twist. I mean, blah, 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 blah. So I'll repeat that again. Being busy and being exhausted are not the same thing. Okay. Um, where being exhausted is not where, because you're not exhausted because you're doing too much. Okay. You're not exhausted because of that. You're exhausted because you're doing too much of the wrong things. Let that sink in because it had to sink in with me for a second. Like, what are you really trying to say? But you guys get it, right? Come and flow with me. So let's be real. Right? Let's be real and shift let's be real because half the stuff that's on our to-do list for me, anyways, I didn't even want to do. You know what I'm saying? I just wrote it down just because I wanted to, kind of feel important. And I got like 25 things to do on my list, and 15 of them things is telling me, says, figure it out. Life, figure it out. The other 15 is telling me, figure life out. Come on. What does that even mean? Figure life out. What does that even mean? Well, today, I'm going to try to break that cycle. I'm talking about balance. I'm talking about priorities. And yes, I'm talking about taking a break without feeling guilty. So go ahead and grab some coffee, grab your tea, grab that snack that you should have saved for later, but it didn't make it. That's another one of my jokes, right? But now let's get into it. Okay. Some of you are probably like, what the hell is the 80-20 rule? All right. Try to break it down. The 80-20 rule basically is saying this 80%, 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. Okay. Let me say it again. Most of what you get out of life comes from small portions of what you do, right? So this means 20% of us create 20 of us percent, I'm messing up on a percentage, bear with me. 20% of your work creates 80% of your success. I'll say that again. 20% of your work creates 80% of your success. 20% of your habits create 80% of your happiness. So you guys feel me a little bit, or should I repeat that again? Because maybe that might not have sounded right, but I thought it sounded tremendous. So I'm gonna say it again. 20%. Again, they know not that I'm online. It is okay. Bless their heart. We are not perfect in this joint. Okay, I'll say it again. 20% of your work creates 80% of your success. 20% of your habits create 80% of your happiness. You're probably like, what do you mean? And yes. 20%, the other 20% is probably that coming from that one person. You already know who I'm talking about. Don't look at your phone. Just don't look at your phone. Just stay focused, right? Because that other 20% is that person that's getting on your damn nerves. But let's stay focused, right? But seriously, this rule is powerful because it shows us something important, right? Not everything deserves your energy. And I know this all sounds bone tapping familiar because I recently just had a conversation about, sharing with you guys that it's okay to be tired It's okay to get rest. And this is kind of on the same grounds. It's okay to take, taking your power back. So this is kind of a shadow of that same conversation. So yeah. So yeah, not everyone deserves your attention. Ooh, they don't, right? And so when you start feeling or finding, when you start to finding balance, hmm, now let's talk about why, right? Where do you start finding your balance at, right? Because it's not just a task. It's not all about the task. It's a mind state for some of us. You know, some of us. There's a lot of people that are addicted to staying busy, and that's okay, because when you be, to some extent, when you become addicted to staying busy, then now what happens is you start to feel guilty when you sit down. You start to feel lazy when you rest. And we feel like you have to be doing something right all the time. You need to sit down then when you sit down, for 5 minutes, your brain is sitting there like, oh, do we send out the email? Or what about that laundry? Or should I be doing something? Should I be doing something productive? I feel like I should be doing something. And I'm like, can I live? Can I live? Can I drink my coffee just while it's hot, just one time? Right? Let me get that. Just one time. Can I drink my damn coffee while it's hot? Because come on, by the time you sit down and coffee is cold, unless you have a Stanley Cup, which most of us do. But if you don't, by the time you sit down, you know, the coffee's cold and the snack that you was going to save is already ate and it's gone. And now you're irritated for no damn reason. You're just now you're irritated, you know? Now you're just irritated for no reason. But sometimes a lot of us has been conditioned to believe that rest is a reward. No, rest is a requirement, right? You don't have to earn rest. You need rest. Even when your phone needs to be recharged, you gotta charge it up because it needs battery, it needs juice, and you cost more than your phone. Now here's where I kind of shift things. You know, here's where the shift starts to happen. Okay, um, doing less does not mean that you're being lazy. By all means necessary, does not mean that. It means being intentional. Okay, it means asking yourself what actually matters, what actually moves your life forward, you know, because, what actually brings you peace. Because, you can spend 10 hours a day being busy and still didn't get shit done, right? I mean, and then you can spend a couple hours focusing on that change, because guess what? Focusing on that changes everything. So that's when your 80 to 20 action starts to come in play. So instead of doing everything, start focusing on what's the right thing. Okay, so let me give you an example. Um, Instead of saying I need to do 20 things today, maybe you can say things like, what are 3 things that I can do that could actually make my day today? Like there's something that can actually make a change in my day. That's it. It's 3 things. you know, um, because some of us got lists so long that we're trying to fulfill that we need a table of contents. That list is like long as shit. Like, damn, you need a table of content to do this, and that. You know, so let's talk about that, right? Um, we don't do enough. We don't do enough. Let's talk about taking a break. We don't no, we don't talk about that enough, right? And I know again, you're probably like, this conversation sounds very familiar to your last conversation. It's all in the same circle. They all sit at the same table. Getting your power back, balancing the 80-20 rule, it's all sets in the same room because when you have all those practices, you can't help but live a better, happier, peaceful life when you follow certain, steps to do that. Because you got to learn somewhere. And like I said, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor or a coach. I am simply a person, a woman who's had life changing events, and that these things that I speak of are things that either I've been through or that I've been through or that I've seen other people been through, but mostly things that I myself, me, myself, and I have been through since I became a grown adult. And I'm still growing and growing and still learning and learning just like the rest of you guys. So taking a break, a real break, but still, and I ain't talking about the break where you just sat down, but you're still like, oh my God, checking your email. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm not talking about the type of break where you rest, but you're still stressful. Like you took a rest and you're just like, oh my gosh, so still stressful. I'm so stressful. I'm not talking about that type of break. Okay. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about an intentional reason to give yourself to pause. That is intentional. Give yourself intentional to pause because breaks are not a waste of time. They are an investment to your energy. I'll say it again. Breaks are not a waste of time. They are investments in your energy. Oh my goodness. And then when you do that, I tell you, baby, hello, somebody, you feel better. You show up stronger. You think clearer when you can rest and you done had a good night's sleep and things are productive. You damn sure show up better. You're in a better mood because I know when I wake up good, I'm just all around the map in a good way, and everybody around me can feel it, you know. And so when you can show up better when you've had a clear rest, your energy's better, you're clear, you feel better, you show up stronger, right? And then, but when you don't have those things, you get burnt out, you know. And the next thing you know, somebody asks you a simple question, and you're like, "Why are you asking me questions? Why are you bothering me?" Meanwhile, they're like, "I was just gonna ask where the remote was." Listen, that's burnout talking. That's frustration talking. So that's what that is. I don't want that, right? We don't want that burnout energy. That's the burnout talking. We're past that, right? At least we're working our way past it. So let's make this practical. I'm thinking of something that, oh, we could do this. And maybe, these are practices and things that I've done. And again, I want to share with you guys. And again, I am at the library. You would think when you come to the library, it's supposed to be the library. It is absolutely loud as that thing in here. Like whatever's going on, I must be behind something, but I can hear toilets flushing. It's wonderful. What a wonderful day in the library. Yay. Gotta love it. Gotta love your city. Gotta love your circumstances. Gotta love your situations. Hello, somebody. But like I said, let's get practical. And how about this? Here's some ways that I started my day in the past, currently, right now, at this moment, here and now. And I've done it. I'm doing it all the time. I'm practicing it. Every time you look around the corner there, be like, there she go, practicing shit. There she go, doing this. That's the energy you want to have, And another beautiful thing about balance is that when everything is balanced according to the way that you're running your balanced mind, your home, and when all these things are balanced, your home is balanced, your relationship is balanced, you're balanced internally, you teaching people around you balance. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. That is a beautiful, beautiful life, beautiful story. But again, here's are some ideas that I had for making things practical and easier for you. Identify your 20 top, identify your top 20%. You're probably like, what does that mean? Identify my top 20%. I mean, what actually brings results in your life? That's what that means. Identifying your top 20%. What actually brings you results in your life? Like, what is actually bringing you bonuses in your life that's keeping you striving, keeping you going? Now, two, we can eliminate and or reduce to rest, right? Meaning elimination. What I mean by that, not everything or everything deserves your attention. Ooh, because you give your attention to everything and everybody. Oh my God, I can't even imagine how busy your mind emotionally would be, if you don't eliminate the things that are hurting you or holding you back or stopping you from going forward, eliminate that shit. Um, Again, practical things become easier things when you live in it your everyday life. And it's amazing when you're glowing with life in general and you're feeling great and you're living a balanced life, people can look at you and be like, they don't be like, yeah, that girl looks real balanced. Now, it's a different type of glow. It's that glow where they're like, oh, she's happy. She has that happy glow. She has that, hey, everybody, I'm feeling great because I'm balanced. I got self love. I got my power back. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be tired and I can rest and still be okay. I can sit down and not think about emails. I can sit down and not worry about what's going on because I actually took a moment for wonderful me. Doesn't that feel good? It does to me because I tell you, I've looked for moments to just have a break, right? And before my journey, I wasn't even sure what a break looked like. What the hell, a break? A break? Do you know how condensed and compressed my life is? I don't have time for breaks. Work, 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 work. Do this. Do. And you see how when you're in how I was speaking and everything is just going so fast because your life is like slow down, slow it down, get some balance, get your mind in order, get your life in alignment. And success will follow it. It'll be so much easier to follow suit on the things that you want to do and how your life is supposed to be lived. Another thing I say, if I think I'm crazy, schedule a break. Yeah, write the shit on the calendar. If you're a calendar based person, write it on the calendar. I need a break this day. Okay. And I'm going to take this break. And you take it, whether it's just sitting in front of the TV eating snacks. I didn't say set and stay forever. You set for a little bit, take small breaks. You gotta take no, I don't mean go out there and cut off your nose to spite your face, type of break. I mean the break where it's internal and it flows outwards and it also can help you have a more productive day, right? Um, Protect your energy, meaning, your peace is valuable, so guard it. I'll say it again. Protect your energy because your peace is very valuable, so guard it. Guard your peace. Guard that shit like guard your heart, right? And remember, you don't have to do everything to be successful. You just have to do the right thing. Just it. And let me say this. You are not here to be you are not here to be on this earth to be exhausted. Hello, somebody. You are not here to prove your worth with struggle, through struggle. Hello, everybody. And you're not here to run yourself in the ground. Stop playing with me. We're not here for that. You are here to live. You are here to enjoy life. Okay? Enjoy life. You are you are here to have peace and you are here to have balance. And sometimes balance looks like doing less. Rest more. Laugh more, baby. Say no more. No. No, 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 no. Say it more. Say it till you can't stand the word. Say it. That's right. Oof. And that shit hit me for a minute. I don't know if something about me. Because a lot of us, and some of us need to know that no is actually a complete sentence. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to apologize for saying no. No, I'm sorry, but no, I can't, but no, fuck that. No apologies. No is the end of your sentence. No. Mm-mm. Cannot, no. And that's the end of your sentence. And boy, a lot of people don't like that word no, but they be all right. So just know that. So just go sit down somewhere because at the end of the day, your peace matters. Ooh, you matter. Your energy matter. And if nobody else told you today, you are doing better than you think. Yes, you are. So take a breath, sit down, and remember my motto. Take a leap of faith. Dreams do come true. And even sometimes taking leaps look like rest. Hello, somebody. So, as I close my show today, I want to thank you guys for spending time with me. It means the world. Of course, if you liked today's conversation, if you know someone that wants to hear this conversation, or even if you just want to support me, like, subscribe, and share. Share alike. With that being said, remember that you're healthy in every way. You are who you are. You are strong. You are worthy. You are worth everything that you deserve. Don't let anyone tell you different. Keep that balance. Keep that self love. Focus on being productive. You have this. We got this. I love you. I love you all. Thank you for tuning into the Here and Now show. And until next week, I'll see you guys next Tuesday with another hot conversation. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Signing off, LaVonda Ray. Something about jazz.